welcome to a Signature
Lush
with me, Illusion SJC.
And I am Crazy Cadet.
And today we're going to do a little bit of a, sorry to spoil the mood and everything, obviously we're a very upbeat group, aren't we?
Yeah,
really?
we're quite jazzy,
But
yeah.
I think over the last week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, there's been a couple of incidents that have really struck a chord for me, and I feel like we need to show respect to certain people who have lost their lives tragically and unnecessarily. So what we've done is a little timeline, so nothing's as of what we think is more important, because I think everyone's life, once you lose it in a way that wasn't expected, you're all judged the same. However, we've gone backwards to the current day today. So first of all, we're going to start on Wednesday the 18th of September this year, with the tragic death of Carl McDonald. And Carl was...
He died. I think he died in Battersea.
Yeah, that's correct. He was shot point blank.
Yeah, shot. Yeah.
Which to me, I think the shock factor for me was the fact that it was an evening in someone's close. It could happen, you know, at the end of your road. It could be, you know, your neighbour's like.
And the fact that he was a young boy as well, and that he was talented, and I believe that he was in Goodfellas, which is a group developed in South London.
Okay.
And you know, he was trying to do well for himself, you know, but sadly, you know, we want to R.I.P. to, you know,
R.I.P. Carl McDonald, and most importantly as well, his family. As I said previously, and I've said many times, I don't know how you cope with this kind of loss, but I hope that you're finding a way to get through it. It's still, I suppose, very, very raw at the moment.
Yeah.
So I said R.I.P. Carl McDonald. We're going to move forward to the 20th of September. The first person that we want to mention was Joshua Ribera, also known as Debsman. Now,
yeah, he was in Birmingham, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Birmingham, and was he not at a fundraiser with his?
Yeah, I mean, for those who don't know, basically he was literally at a fundraiser for another youth who was stabbed the previous year in the leg, and he ended up dying. So he was at a fundraiser to raise money for a tombstone, and he was stabbed in the heart. So again, shock factor, totally. The fact that you had full intention, you went there to kill someone. Again, I can't fathom, I can't understand why you would do that to such a young man.
Sad,
I know a lot of celebrities and, you know, like people, like different channels. Have like tweeted basically to show their respect and stuff. But once again,
to believe that, Sarah, he was third on the iTunes chart.
Yeah, he was third
Drake
on the iTunes.
So
but again, he was up and coming, and we're regretfully we have to do this blog today. But once again, I'd like to say R.I.P. to Joshua Ribera, Debsman. Obviously a shout out to his crew, and also most importantly, you know, we're showing the heartfelt feelings to the family, friends, everybody who supported him. Now, same day, early hours of the morning, PC Andy Duncan. And I think, you aware of this? I mean, there's a lot of media coverage as to this officer who was killed.
Yes, It
was a hit and run, basically. This is a traffic officer, and I think my shock factor for this one was the fact that he is a traffic officer. A lot of people have that kind of preconceived idea that as a police officer, you go out there so you can expect it. Guys, I don't believe so. They're not in the army. That's not something, you know, if it happened, I suppose, you could kind of see why they've kind of put themselves in that kind of situation, why people might think that. But as a police officer, they put their uniform, they put, you know, like everything else on the same way as we do. So I personally, when you're doing a job to protect the public, I don't see why that's necessary. And I think
to have the bravery to do that on a day-to-day basis, knowing that there's a risk at that, it's a lot of courage, you know. So.
And more importantly, he's a traffic officer, and that's why I think the shock factor was for me. He's doing a routine stop, somebody who's apparently speeding at about 60 miles an hour, and this person's mowed him down. The fact that people were inside the car, and it took some time for them to come forward again, disgusts me. So again, PC
taking responsibility for that.
Of course, PC Andy Duncan. Sorry, I apologise for the ruthless, heartless act of somebody who I just can't fathom why they would do that and why they wouldn't stop. I can understand you might be scared, but you've killed someone. So our heartfelt feelings go out to the family, friends, supporters, and all to the police officers who actually do a fantastic job
on a day-to-day basis. Yes,
of course. Now, I think we're going to move on to the 22nd of September.
Okay,
and this, another shocking what is going on in this world. The twin suicide bombings in Peshawar in Pakistan. Did you hear about that?
No, I didn't hear about that one.
Basically, so it's 2 separate attacks. Happened in Pakistan outside a Christian church.
So people are going to church to be religious and pray for all their sins and everything, and they haven't. Wow.
Yeah, and I believe it's something like 70 odd people who believe dead, 120 people who are possibly injured. Again, you've gone to a church. Apparently these people worship the same God as yours.
Yeah.
We just, it's basically just generics as to what we call it, what kind of rules we follow. To go outside the church shows no respect, there's no boundaries. And I just can't fathom, the amount of loss, the amount of the mourning, the sadness that these people have to go through.
And the fact that they're going to pray and they're trying to, help us as a community together, and everything is just tragic.
Again, heartfelt feelings. RIP to all the people who lost their lives in that tragic and senseless bombing. It's every day now. We're hearing about bombings, we're hearing about suicide attacks, and it's still, for me, I can't connect. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. So, again, RIP to all the people that lost their lives. And finally, something that's pretty ongoing, but I believe everyone's been pulled out now of that shopping centre, Westgate Shopping Centre in Nairobi, in Kenya.
Wow. So, I believe that it was about 65 people around
60 odd people. Shock factor for me definitely has to be that you are going shopping, an ordinary everyday thing.
Normal
you go to a mall, that's the same thing as Westfields for us, to put it in context kind of thing. And somebody decides to hijack and hold people hostage and kill people in the process, because I believe there's a young family.
And there was a pregnant woman and her husband. Yeah. There were young children. There were people escaping out of the vents.
I mean, to me, once again, I always say there's no one's life is more important than the others. We're all human. Yes. We all should be put on par the same way. I personally think the fact that so many people had to die, again, in a senseless killing, it's a slaughtering of people. Again,
it's just heartless.
We're in 2013, people. Do you know what I mean? If you want to get your message across, there must be another way. Once again, RIP to all the people.
And I'm praying for your families, and I hope everyone's safe, and those who are recovering. We hope the best for you,
Of course. And guys, I think the reason why we did this blog is because every day we wake up and we're very aware of everything that happens around us. Sometimes if you watch BBC News, they give you the world news, and it kind of puts everything into context. Like, for instance, that PC dying. I think statistics show like 68 people are killed in hit and runs every week.
Yes.
So, guys, be careful. Guys, keep everything in perspective. Do you know what I mean? Keep it light as much as possible, but then put everything, whatever you're going through, just bear in mind all these people who have to suffer, mourn the loss of loved ones.
Okay, guys.
So, guys, we're going to wrap it up. I hope we haven't depressed you. But obviously, if you want to be cheered up, just keep it locked.
Subscribe to us, follow, comment, like, anything. Okay, guys?
And join us once again next time on Signature Lush.